Hey, Roadrunners, welcome to Victory Sunday. We all always feel better after a victory. Some victories we feel better about than others, right? You can't feel good about beating UIW. Be happy that we won, but you can't feel good about it. This game, it's a mixed bag also, right? But we at least won a game against an FBS opponent that by all intents and purposes, we probably should have lost. We probably should have lost that game, but we didn't. And I'll get into the whys of why we probably should have lost the game. But let's go back to my preview video. I said they had wide receivers that were big. Not necessarily didn't look fast to me, but they were big, right? They got us with the underneath routes. They did get the one long pass that we chased them down, ran them out of bounds, and then we held them to a field goal, right? We did do that, right? We held them defensively. We held them for an entire half. And what I saw number 33, give him his flowers. That guy was all over the field. That guy was a menace to Colorado State. They probably have a wanted poster for him saying, get who was driving that number 33 bus. He was all over. He had 4 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. That's just incredible. Incredible performance. I won't even bother butchering his name, but well, you know what? I'm gonna try, okay? I'm going to try to say his name. Anya, it's where Anya Wu. Anya Nu. And Yanwu Nanana is his first name, is what it sounds like. 4 tackles for loss, 4 solo, 5 total, and 3 sacks. Those are only 3 sacks we had all game. Now, you've heard me give praises to Coach Sadiq. He knows what he's doing. He straight up knows what he's doing. So let's stay on the defensive side of the ball before I talk about the rest of the game, right? What I saw in this game, actually, because I actually had a chance to watch it, we were at Hugh O'Connor's. Pretty cool little Irish bar off 59, 69 South. Kind of ish. West Park more like, but that's right there if you know anything about Houston on the southwest side. Cool little place. We're in a little room, kind of. So they have like the bar area, then they have these little rooms, and they have this other room, and they have TVs, and you can kind of sit there, and it's kind of like, if you're in the Houston area, it's like the Mexican restaurant. God damn it, that Mexican restaurant, I forgot the name. Pardon my French. I forgot the name of that Mexican restaurant that has all the little rooms to it. Right there off Memorial and Highway 6 South. Good Lord. Anyway, if you're in the Houston area, you know what I'm talking about. It'll come to me, right? Lupe Tortilla, right? It's kind of like that, right? Not got a big bar area. There's a bar area, but all these other little smaller rooms off the side with tables in it and stuff like that. And we had one of the smaller ones and had our own TV, and it was nice, right? And it was just us. And so one thing about the broadcast, sometimes I complain about the broadcast watching. I know you guys may have said that. We're like, well, get us to the replay. Stop showing this. But when they did show the replay, you could actually see what our defense was doing. And what I noticed was when we were most effective was when we stopped being in the dime defense, what looked like a dime defense or a nickel defense, right? Guys not dropping back. But we got ahead, and we're trying to keep them in front of us and use our defense to let the offense bleed clock, is what it feels like to me. Which is fine when you're up 14. Which is fine when you're up 14, but we were never up 14, right? We're only up 7. But that's where we started getting picked apart. Because I think the secondary, we have guys, they're all new, right? They're not all new, but they're all new starters. right? And we don't have that one or two guys that have quite settled into understanding their assignment per se, or recognizing their assignment. They understand their assignment. Look, they're college kids. They understand their assignment. But recognizing your assignment live, right? Golf analogy. Golf ball sitting in front of you, take the club back low and slow, bring it up, normal, don't let it go flat, don't let it come over the top, bring it up like that, whack it, go straight down the thing, and then release the club head after hitting, and it goes straight down the fairway, right? We all understand that, right? We all know that assignment. But understanding that the ball is actually sitting a little lower, that maybe we're a little further off, we don't realize it because we're talking millimeters of a great shot, right? That's what I mean, right? In that regard, right? Is the ball a little buried? That's what I mean. Recognizing your assignment in the moment, right? And that's where we get ourselves caught. Straight up. They call them blown assignments, right? But these aren't really blown. Some of these aren't really blown assignments, to be honest with you. It's not recognizing the assignment. You can call it the same thing, but blown assignments is when two guys go to the same guy and then one guy's running completely free the whole time. That one touchdown, yeah, that was a pick play. He blasted our guy. Now, that's not a blown assignment. That probably was a touchdown if he doesn't blast our guy and run the pick, right? They still probably convert the touchdown, right? We had guys, they just didn't recognize it fast enough. And that's the experience is what I'm talking about for the secondary. Our linebackers, our front four, front three, front five, or whatever we played, man, they know the assignment. They recognize the assignment. It's just whether they're successful with their assignment, right? And recognizing it, right? Think of Bijan. We were there in the backfield. We call it blown tackles. But dude, when you're playing an all-world guy, the guy who's probably the best guy on the field, and you're getting there late, you're crashing in, right? And all he's got to do is move just a little bit, and you just can't get enough of him as you go flying by at maximum speed because you're trying to close the distance. We had quite a few of those, right? They knew it, but they didn't recognize the assignment soon enough to get up there to make the tackle. Those kind of things can work themselves out throughout the year. And I hope they do. To me, not like Colorado State has a great offense, but it wasn't like they struggled bust with Washington. Watch them play Washington. They didn't really necessarily struggle bust offensively with Washington. Now, maybe Washington played a very bland offense. They struggle bust with Northern Colorado. I said that. And I also told you we're the same team. We are the same team as they are. They had 11 penalties. We had 9. The only thing we did differently is we had 2 turnovers. We won 17-16, all because, and I think this won the game it absolutely won the game for us. But if they just kick the extra point and stick with it, I think they win the game in overtime with a field goal. We probably, or maybe they win it, they score a touchdown, we kick a field goal, right? We get the ball first, we score a field goal, and then we can't hold them. They get some kind of touchdown, and we lose, yeah, you name it, 23 to 20, right? I don't think we win that game in overtime. Our defense was starting to gas. And part of the reason why our defense started to gas, this is where I'm going to capitulate to the offensive side of the ball, which is where all of our problems are. All of them. Think about what I'm telling you. Let's go to team stats. We only had the ball 26 minutes of the game offensively. We were winning the game the entire game, so why do we only have it 26 minutes? There were several series. There was one particularly in the third quarter. We get off the field. Our defense gets us off the field. Lets them get a first down, then gets us off the field. We go out there and we throw two two incomplete passes, and then run the play on third down. We burn like 40 seconds of game clock, and that's it. Right after our defense has been playing lights out. And guess what happened? That's when they started getting their mojo. You have to understand game management, game clock management. Another thing we did, so second half, timeout, early. Early timeout. I'm in a text group, and now I don't know if I should even comment in the text group anymore. Because this is an obvious problem, right? This is an obvious problem. But nobody will ask. Nobody will say, hey, what's the deal? Why not just take the penalty, back up 5 yards, and then punt instead of going for a four? Both times were terrible plays after the timeout. You wasted 2 timeouts. Just let the clock go out. Let the clock, game clock will stop, play clock, and then punt the ball. Some of these things that I don't understand, right? And those are things that just boggle my mind. And it comes back to haunt us. And it came back to haunt us in that game. This game should have never been this close. This game should have never been this close with the way our defense was playing. We only gave up 3 points in the first half. When you have an announcer that says all his passes were behind the line or super short passes, even he's low-key saying this is not sustainable. Because it's not like these guys are wide open, right? It's not like, let's put it this way, it's not like the fun and gun, the run and shoot, yada, 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 where these guys are singularly wide open. We're trying to run screens and stuff like that. And like Amador, 5 catches. Let's go to box score. Amador. I was like, is that his first catch? Because they were really pretty bad about the names and stuff like that, especially when I was watching it. Receiving. Amador. 4 receptions, 1 yard. Long, 5 yards. He didn't even get a yard. They're showing a 0. That means every 3 of his 4 passes were tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and the 1 went for 5 yards. Robert Henry, 2 receptions, 76 yards. Man, thank God we got Robert. Thank God he came back. Thank God. Because let me tell you something. McEwen had a pretty good game. McEwen, I think he's probably healthy. And because, remember, he was the one that got that uppercut. And that kind of stuff lingers with you. Because this is a collision sport. You get a concussion. And then you're right back out there getting your body jostled around, and then your time you're missing being able to practice, you get your bell rung. You can't even run. Every step in the ground jars your body, right? Houston Thomas had 1 good catch, but we only threw for 173 yards. Ran for 172 yards. Hey, that's balanced. We've got to work on our offensive side of the ball. We've got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? There was no reason to call those 2 timeouts. No reason. We were winning the game. Just take the penalty and punt. Take the penalty and punt. Right? Don't burn timeouts. They're precious. There's a reason why you only get 3 in a game. 3 per half. 6 in a game. There's a reason for that. It's it's killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me. They and it's our offensive. Sorry, there's somebody walking across my front yard. They're delivering something, putting something on the thing. Sorry about that. Uh, our offense, our passing is it's gotta improve. Our passing game has to improve. This isn't missing two deep balls, right? This is, I mean, guys are right there. This is the structure of our defense, our offensive patterns, right? This is, I don't know if McCown, when he's trying to throw, reason why we don't throw short over the middles, maybe he can't see that because of our offensive linemen. Remember I said that, or this because we don't have throwing lanes being created. Could that be it? But we got the win. And that took moxie to get that win. And it took a fortuitous play decision by their coach Norvell. What I did notice was we held number 12 pretty much in check, right? Pretty much their backup QB, right? But he did get that touchdown to tie the game, right? Or was did he hit the first touchdown? I forgot. It doesn't really matter. But we held their first quarterback, and then we did really good against their running quarterback for the most part. Because they only had, let me see their stats. Overview. Let's see their stats. They had 254 yards passing. Rousseau had 78 yards passing. That was their actual backup thrower, right, when he came in. He's the one who got to us, man. Taj Bullock. Yeah, he was the one. Number 12. He had 5 carries for 17 yards and 1 TD, right? All except for that 1 TD, we held him in check. And I think they had the perfect play called with him. But our defense snuffed it out. Because they were looking for a little like getting us to get up after him and hoping he'd be wide open. But our defense snuffed it out. And chances are, because he rolled out to the right, there's probably somebody wide open on the other side of the field that he had no chance of seeing. I bet if we look at it, he had no chance of, because he rolled to the right. He was hoping to get that wide receiver over there, but all our guys went there. I mean, there were how many were over there? There were like 6 of our defensive players out of 11. When they saw that play, they took off. That particular play was not going to be successful. I know the announcer said, had he gotten rid of it earlier, it's probably successful. But I'm telling you, it wasn't going to be. Because by the time he had to throw it softly to that wide receiver or the running back over there, if he tossed up there softly, our guys are on him and just blast him out of bounds. It was great to see. We got the win. We're 2-2. We found out who we are. We can get 4 wins and be 6-6. We can get 5 wins and be 7-5. We can do that, right? We play Temple. We can beat Temple. Can we beat Rice, though? North Texas? We're going to find out. We're going to find out soon enough, right? We're going to find out. We're going to find out soon enough. I'm not. Oh, we're at North Texas. Oh, that could be ugly. Tulane, scratch that one off. South Florida, scratch that one off. Charlotte, we should be able to win that one. East Carolina, should be able to win that one. So if I say Temple, so here's what I'm saying. Temple, Charlotte, East Carolina. Ooh. That's 5-7. If we're playing the way we're playing, we will be lucky to be 5-7. It's okay. It's okay to critique. It's okay. Critiquing this team is not hating this team. I don't hate the coaching staff. I just don't understand why we burn timeouts the way we burn timeouts. It's never been beneficial. I don't know of any time we've done those timeouts and it's been beneficial. Maybe it has, but I don't know. Anyway, we got the victory. I was happy for the victory. I was pleased as punch how our defense was playing. Pleased as punch until the fourth quarter when they changed their quarterback. It's kind of interesting. Every game that we've played somebody, they brought in their second string quarterback, the complexion of the game changed. Interesting, right? Peace out. Birds up. FAFO.